Here's something strange and ironic. Intelligence, human intelligence, has does not necessarily have anything to do with human functionality. And what that means is that the person can have human intelligence, but not functionality. And don't get me wrong, it's not about being physically incapable. And here's what I mean. Like today, well, not today, it's actually several days ago. Um, I witnessed somebody putting their hand on their jaw, and another person comes along and speaks to this person, and the person with the hand on the jaw was saying that they had to go to the dentist and possibly get some kind of root canal or something of that nature. And the other person that that was told this information started spewing off at the mouth all this stuff about dentistry and Novocaine, and asked for this kind of medicine, not that kind of medicine, just a whole spew. Made it sound like uh, she had a med school degree. And what's also interesting about this person, I've had conversations with this person, and I told this person about a gardening situation that I had, and boom, this person started spewing off with all this information about gardening, the differences between root-based vegetables and things that grow on vines, trees, and just all this information. To It's like, wow, what an expert, what a smart person. This very same person on a regular job that you would think is so simple continuously does weird things and louse things up. Pretty interesting, huh? I say all that to say this. Today, I had a conversation with a fellow colleague, and it wasn't about this person that I just mentioned, but it was about people in general. And he was giving me some information about a couple of situations he had with employees and whatnot. And I told him, man, you got to quit frustrating yourself giving people credit where credit is not due. And he looked at me, and he was a little frustrated because I guess he was thinking about the situation. And he he said, yeah, this person knows better and blah blah blah. And they know better, but they know what they're doing and just not doing. And I'm like, dude, most people don't know better. You can't give people credit for knowing better. Most people are at, now I know this sounds bad, but I'm going to say it. Most people are at basic levels of functionality. That means their intelligence, their intellect, no matter how much information or whatever they may have memorized, no matter what training you've given them, their mechanism for functionality in the real world can't receive all this information and translate it into practical doing. So you can tell somebody what to do and how to do it. You can show, but they may not be able to consistently pull things off. Even what you might consider menial, simple tasks. especially if it's a series of simple tasks. And you'll ask them, well, don't you know you're supposed to be doing this? And they'll, well, yeah, because yeah, it's up here in their intellect. And you say, well, why didn't you do it? I don't know, or something like I forgot, or everybody does not know better. And as we continue to talk, the conversation kind of took a tad bit of a different twist, a different angle, but kind of along the same lines. And just so happens, coincidentally, there was a conference at my job. Some kind of conference, leadership skills. And so I brought up that conference and I said, man, everybody can't be king. It's just not in the cards for everybody to be king. And I've said this before. Um, the world needs thousands upon thousands more worker bees than it does kings. And here you go. Well, here we go as a society promoting all these philosophies, building up people's heads, got everybody thinking that they can eventually rise up to be king or queen. No, man, that's not the way the hierarchy works. That's not the way God designed it. It's like the whole Ant Mound thing. Everybody can't be the queen. And what's interesting is that the main problem with this situation is that with the human intellect, thinking that it's truly more practically intelligent than what it really is the fact that everybody has an ego. Even dumb people have egos. People that use common sense, they have egos, and that's rare. Not many people these days are left with common sense. I actually believe that common sense is a factor that's becoming extinct as it as with regard to human nature. Common sense was the last link, is the last link for some of us that we have as far as a bit of a spiritual connection to the universe, to God. It's that common sense factor. And most people don't have it anymore. Um, I don't know. But when I was telling this guy, hey, everybody can't be king. And he was resistant, and I told him, you know what? The human ego has everybody believing that they can be king, but they really can't. And the human ego is also what makes people refuse to face the truth about themselves. And therein lies the issue. I think we got to stop trying to teach everybody, oh, you can be king one day. Like that's going to motivate them. Guess what? They might get a temporary feeling of elation and then they go out in the world and try to be king and they crash into reality and get knocked down off their high horse like Don Quixote or something like that. Everybody can't be king. And for all of those people who give people the benefit of the doubt, good luck with that. Understand that it's the human ego that pulls up that illusion that people can do better. And that's what the ego is anyway. It's just an illusion of the self. Again, we need more worker bees. We really do. And I told this guy, you got to quit giving these people credit of knowing any better because they don't. I don't care. Yeah, they're going to school, they're trying to get a higher education, whatever, but that don't matter. That kind of education, even higher learning, they're going to college, That has nothing to do with real world functionality. Not necessarily. So if you're like this guy, this young man that I was speaking with, who was resistant about not wanting to take a hardcore truth that a lot of people really can't do any better and don't know no better because they have basic functionality intelligence, then you might be one of those people too with a basic functionality of intelligence. Because if you can't see after a period of time with repetitive counterproductive behaviors, repetitive dumb acts, repetitive, well, if you want to call it forgetfulness or I don't know, lazy, call it whatever you want. If you can't see after a certain period of time where somebody is or what level they're on intellectually versus functional wise, then you might be like those people. Don't don't frustrate yourself. Don't waste time and energy believing in the integrity of people that can't function higher than what nature designed them to function. Otherwise, what's going to happen is that you're going to lower your intelligence, your level of functionality, and you're going to become like them. You get frustrated over these people. Guess what? Frustration destroys your very own intelligence. Frustration, that kind of anger, that kind of resentment, it destroys what's good in you that helps you function at whatever level you function. You got to realize everybody might not be at your level, whatever that level may be. I'm not interested in doing certain things like being head of a corporation or being a world leader. I have my niche and I'm working on it and I'm prospering nicely. Now, now we're getting somewhere. Like these people who you think should know better, but they keep repeating the same dumb, counterproductive behaviors. These people, that's not to say that they can't find a niche and prosper. What needs to be done is to find that niche because at the end of the day, we're all born into this world and everybody has a place. Everybody has an assignment, if you will, a divine assignment. So, what I think and what I told this guy, instead of trying to teach everybody that they can be king, teach them that they can find a niche of sorts and they can be king of that niche. They can be a leader with regard to that niche. Like Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. said, you know, if I were a street sweeper, let it be known that I was the best sweet sweeper the world has ever experienced. That's a little paraphrasing, but you get the point. But keep that in mind while you're stressing over somebody that keeps doing things to frustrate you and you're beating yourself up in the head telling this person or thinking it about this person, you should know better. Keep that in mind. Maybe they've reached their peak of functionality. And yeah, they can come back at you and talk a good game. Oh yeah, I'm gonna do better next time. I know. Yeah, yeah, yeah. When they screw something up and you talk to them, they repeat exactly what they're supposed to do. Yeah, this is what I was supposed to do. A, B, C, D, E, F. Yeah, I know, I know. Boom, and you're fooled again. They get in the real world, well, the world of actual hands-on functionality, and it gets loused up again. And here you go, oh, they know better. No, they don't. Because you see, certain information, when people hear it, and you think they get it, and in their minds they think they've learned it, it actually falls into an area of their mind to where it's rendered useless. And it can't come back out with hands on practical functionality. There is a place in the mind of most people where certain levels of information can go in, but it can't go out as far as being demonstrated. It can be repeated verbally, but that's as far as it goes. It's a heck of a dilemma, ain't it? Well, tell you what, not necessarily trying to be negative. I know this message seemed a little negative, but actually, it can save you a lot of mental and physical stress. It can. It's a truth that most people don't want to accept. And I think a lot of it has to do with control anyway, wanting to control people. But remember, whether you're one of those people or not, everybody's not meant to be king. Thank you for listening, and God bless.